good books are good because they contain good stories. But there's also times where the book itself, the physical copy, or the circumstances by which you came to acquire it, make that story that much better. It's true for me, but it's a great book in its own right. We'll talk about it today on Casting Across. Hi, I'm Matthew of castingacross.com, where I explore the quarry and culture of fly fishing. The year was 2003, and my wife and I moved to Pennsylvania. Now, we moved there for grad school, but fly fishing was really kind of the reason why we chose that particular place. And I had grown up fly fishing in south central Pennsylvania since I lived in Northern Virginia. It was only about an hour and a half away. And I had known those creeks pretty well. Some of the most popular creeks in Pennsylvania's Cumberland Valley. I went up there numerous times every season, and sometimes would spend multiple days up there in high school and in college. Well, now, as a young adult, I had the opportunity to fish those rivers every day of the week if I so chose to. And I did. I spent a lot of time on some of those rivers. And on one particular spring creek, I really tried to figure it out. I tried to crack the code. I tried to get to know this stream inside and out. And it was not an easy process. Some days fish would come to hand. Other days, it was a much greater challenge. But things really took off when somebody who lived on the water kind of took me under his wing and walked me through not just the holes and the riffles and the runs and the likely lies, but how he perceived the stream, how he observed the river, and how he approached it. That aspect that has certain tangible variables to it, as well as some intangible things that you only know once you see someone do it and then do it yourself. And one day, as I was out fishing, he came out to talk to me, and he handed me a book. And that book, not this particular copy, but that book was Spring Creek by Nick Lyons. Now, this is a nice, crisp copy. This is the 20th anniversary edition. This book came out in 1992, and so this is obviously a reprint with an updated introduction, which we'll talk about here in a second. But it's a spectacular story. The gist of it, it's not a long book. It's only about 160 pages. But Nick Lyons, who is very well known, I've certainly talked about some of his other works and the books that he has taken a part in publishing here on Casting Across, one of the foremost known names in fly fishing literature and publishing. But this is a story about him spending time on a popular Montana spring creek for a couple of months in his earlier years. And it talks about his getting to know the stream and getting to know the fish in the stream, getting to know the people that fish that stream, getting to know the community around it, but really the learning curve that goes into it. Very, very well written, eloquent, articulate. The stories draw you in. It's the kind of book you don't want to put down. It's the kind of book where if you have ever had a relationship with a stream, so you don't just go fish it. It's not just the place you go to catch fish, but it's a stream that you know intimately well. Even if it was for only a season of your life, Spring Creek will certainly resonate with you. It's definitely worth picking up. There's a very good chance if you've been around fly fishing libraries, you have seen it and probably even read it. But I wanted to share something from the introduction that I thought was very, very poignant, because I think it really articulates an aspect of Spring Creek fishing very, very well. And this is what Lyons wrote in, again, the 2012 20th edition introduction to this book. He says, the river was never kind to anyone who fished poorly, to bumblers or those who just didn't know enough of its secrets, as it had its cranky days, just as any river does. Too tight-lipped for even excellent fly fishers. I had fishless days, and so even did Herb, a true master of the river, and a few visitors while I was there, some of them genuine experts, got royally skunked. That's a Spring Creek. If you've ever fished a Spring Creek on the East Coast, if you've fished one out west, if you've fished one internationally, you understand that they can go on and off with the drop of a hat, and that's part of what makes them so incredibly alluring. And so you get a lot of that, plus you get all the heart, you get all the story, the personality, the character that you would expect in a good fly fishing book in Spring Creek by Nick Lyons. So I will put a link to where you can find this book down in the show notes. But is there a book that someone gave you and maybe has a story to it that immediately drew you to that book before you even read page one? Let me know in the comments below. Then head over to castingacross.com, where there's 3 posts a week on the people, places, and things that go into the pursuit of fish.